EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From perpetually sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, it's live opening round coverage of the WM Phoenix Open. It is called the People's Open. Enthusiastic crowds have been the norm. 700,000 fans expected through the turnstiles this week. As we check the early leaderboard, Justin Lauer is your leader. He's off to a 4-under start. Meanwhile, our featured golfer in good form coming into this one, fresh off a victory a week ago. You here in the Scottsdale sun. And Frank, apart from either embracing or trying to tune out the carnival-like atmosphere here in Scottsdale, what do you need to do to be successful at a course like this?
Have fun first and foremost, because I know when you stand on that first tee at TPC Scottsdale, the first...
On to the second, a 442-yard par 4. Longer hitters can try and take advantage of the downslope 285 yards off the tee, but that brings those two deep fairway bunkers on the right into play. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Really nice mix of holes to start here at TPC Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. Used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
This can be a tough hole, this par 4 fifth at 470 yards. It is made considerably easier if you pound your drive. And you need to hit it long and straight. From there, you'll have a chance to access the hole location and maybe make a birdie. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Up next, the 475-yard par 4 8th. It's a slight dogleg left. Ideally, you want to shape a right-to-left shot to catch a downslope on the fairway. But watch out for the 2 bunkers on the left. Par from there would be a big ask. The final hole on this opening side is a par 4 measuring out at 454 yards. There's 1 bunker to avoid right of the landing zone. But the distinguishing feature here is this green with a ridge right in the middle. Getting the ball to the correct portion of the green on the approach shot can be the difference between a 10-footer for birdie or a 50-footer. Beginning the back 9 with a 428-yard par 4 10th. Sharp dogleg to the right, offering several options off the tee. Cut the corner with a driver and contend with a small bunker and trees, or opt for a fairway wood that brings bunkers on both sides into play. This is a terrific hole here at TPC Scottsdale. The 11th is 472 yards and a par 4. You can see you don't want to hit it left because water goes down the entire left side. Need to hit it long, need to hit it straight, and the best spot is to be down that right side of the fairway. Par 3 12th may not be as famous as the par 3 16th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of the screen. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. Well, a good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snack trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Next up, the 558-yard par 5 13th. Great driving hole featuring water and desert on the right, mature mesquite trees, and a big bunker on the left. Drive the ball between that trouble, and the green is definitely reachable in 2. This is a good scoring hole. We come now to the 490-yard par 4 14th. Not quite as intimidating as number 11, but every bit as demanding. After an uphill tee shot, players hit into a green sitting precariously on what was once a spectator's mound. Par is a great score here. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
This is absolutely one of the coolest holes in golf. This is a little bit like dropping Fenway Park into the desert, trading a baseball bat for a golf club. And it is bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, tie game, World Series rowdy. I mean, there is nothing like it in golf. Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
What an outstanding finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. Not overly long, but it is challenging. At 442 yards, this par 4 is all about strategy. You can challenge the lake on the left if you're one of the bigger hitters, cut the corner of the Church Pew bunkers. That leaves you with just a flip wedge in. Or you can take the safe route, just go down the right side of the fairway. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Sonoran Desert and always entertaining TPC Scottsdale, it's live second-round coverage of the WM Phoenix Open. It is known as the greatest show on grass, and it has lived up to that moniker through the first couple of rounds as we take a look at the Friday leaderboard. Our leader on this Friday is our featured golfer. She's got a 5-shot gap on the field as she looks to potentially EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. On one of the zaniest days on the tour calendar, live Saturday third-round coverage of the one and only WM Phoenix Open. How about the fans out at 7 a.m. sharp today, making that mad dash across the grounds to get that coveted spot at number 16? As we take a look at the Saturday leaderboard, our leader is indeed our featured golfer. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the base of the McDowell Mountains and TPC Scottsdale, live final round coverage of the WM Phoenix Open. Here in the Valley of the Sun, the